changing your life one story at a time. This is the Chicken Soup for the Soul podcast with Editor-in-Chief Amy Newmark.
Hey, it's Amy Newmark with your Chicken Soup for the Soul. And today we're going to talk about getting older and having a great attitude about it. In our first story, Geneva Coleman tells us that she was 55 years old when she decided to reinvent herself. The first thing that went was her hair dye. She went silver on purpose, and she discovered how much healthier her hair was when she stopped dyeing it. After that big change, Geneva thought about what else she could do. She decided that she was just too comfortable. Everything was too easy. Her comfortable life, her comfortable job, her comfortable commute. It was starting to seem boring. She and her husband ate dinner at the same time every night. They watched the same television shows. They shopped at the same grocery store. Geneva's mother had gotten her driver's license for the first time and gone back to work at age 55. Geneva thought that maybe she should be as daring as her mother. 6 weeks later, the boxes were almost packed. Geneva and her husband were moving to an exciting new apartment in the city. She had a new job. Her silver hair had not been a deterrent after all. In fact, her new employer had rather liked her self-assured, authentic, experienced self. She also had a new car with a stick shift. And as she prepared to drive toward her new life with her car full of things that didn't fit in the moving van, she looked in the mirror and she saw a silver-haired, excited, confident woman staring back at her. She didn't know what lay ahead, but it sure wasn't boring. So we put my favorite quote on Geneva's story because we start each story in a Chicken Soup for the Soul book with a relevant quote. This quote is by John Shedd, and it goes like this. "A ship in harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are built for." Going on to another person who shook up her life, Lori Shepherd realized that she was not fully living during middle age. Lori was retired, but what had she done with it? Nothing. And the whole reason that she had retired from her job as a detective police sergeant at age 56 was so that she could travel, but then she had settled into a lazy life of retirement. 10 years after retiring, she finally had an epiphany. She was not living her best life. So what did Lori do? She sold her townhome. She paid off all her bills. She got rid of loads of junk, and she put some stuff that was worth keeping into storage. Her 2 dogs had recently died, so all she had was a cat that she had been talked into adopting. She couldn't leave the cat behind, so she took her. And what did she do? Well, Lori had always dreamed of taking a road trip across the United States. But when she set out on her 8,000-mile adventure, accompanied only by her cat Libby, she did have second thoughts. What motivated her to keep going was Libby the cat's flexibility and her apparent delight in each new hotel room and experience. Lori says that Libby's calm presence made it work. Whenever Lori thought that maybe she was making a mistake, the cat looked at her calmly, and that calmed Lori down. Lori says of the cat, she was a trooper. If she could persevere through the insecurities of what came next, then I could too. When they got all the way to Utah from their starting point in Florida, Lori's self-doubt crept back in. After all, now she had to drive 2,000 miles back to home. But the cat's enjoyment of the little things each day taught Lori to focus on one day at a time and to live in the moment. Lori and Libby the cat ended up being on the road for 47 days. They traveled 8,443 miles through 13 states. Just a middle-aged lady and a little cat in a Subaru. I'm Amy Newmark. Thanks for listening to these stories. They are from Chicken Soup for the Soul, Young at Heart, which you can find on Amazon and at Barnes & Noble, Walmart, Kroger, Meijer, and other stores. Now, if you have your own stories that you would like to share in our books, please visit our website, chickensoup.com, and click on Submit Your Story. And we will walk you through everything you need to know to become a published author with Chicken Soup for the Soul. Also, if you want to read more Chicken Soup for the Soul stories and get a better sense of what we're looking for, you can sign up for our newsletter. Just go to our website and click on newsletters, and then you can pick the ones that you want. And please come back for our next episode. I will be sharing 2 stories about how to energize and empower yourself by just saying yes.